There are 99 names. One name is hidden, and that's just reserved. That remains hidden, and it'll only be revealed if you're a genuine seeker and if God desires to reveal that name to you. But it's not something you can find in nature. It's not something that you can find in your teacher. It's not something that you can read in books or listen to someone talk. It's just very unique. It's you and God. It may be like you've come to a place of acceptance. Who knows? Since this can kind of turn into something very, very abstract, and I personally don't enjoy things that are abstract. If you make this very practical, and if you put your question within the context of maybe just falling in love, it's a one-way relationship, it's not a two-way relationship. There is someone out there and you found yourself attracted, then you found yourself interested, then you found yourself infatuated, then you found yourself obsessed, and then you found yourself in love. At first you thought that, you love their body, then you realize no, you really love their mind, then you realize no, you really love their soul. And then you realize no, it's like cosmic, you love everything about them. There is something about just the nature of love and the inequality of power that it creates. That there is you down here and there is the person that you love. One of the names of God is Jamal. Jamal means the way they look. There's a certain way they look physically. There's a certain way they look emotionally. There's a certain way they look intellectually. There's a certain way they look spiritually. It also signifies beauty. So you have their features. You also have the notion of beauty. You have Jah, you have Jamal. And because it's such an unequal relationship, and because you depend on them so much to be in the presence of beauty, and beauty is at that particular moment and the stage you are, this particular form of beauty suffers no blemishes. It's absolutely perfect. And because you desire that, you long for that, it comes with a great amount of fear. It comes with a great amount of, and these all have Arabic name, but I won't tell them. And that fear creates respect, and that respect creates responsibility. And because you can't adequately step up to what you should do or you ought to do because you're in the presence of this perfection, there's a good amount of shame that comes with it. And it happens not just in relationship to like a teacher, in ordinary love, where all of a sudden you begin to have this thing inside you called al-sabir. It comes from the word sabr, means the patient one. That you're willing to sit by your cell phone for hours and keep looking at it and looking at it and looking at it, hoping for a text, hoping for a call, hoping for an email. And at the same time, your anger comes up, but you also swallow it. Rahman Rahim. And you realize all of a sudden that this, what is usually called a romantic love, contains so many names of divinity within it. You have anger, and you have beauty, and you have perfection, and you have longing, and you have lamenting, and then you have patience, and you have forgiveness, you have all that stuff. When we were going to Hussein's, first you don't really understand any of this stuff, and you don't really think about any of this stuff anyways. You just go there because something about the way he talks and some of the topics just happen to be interesting. Then accidentally something hits you where you say, I can really learn from this man. And you don't exactly know what it is you want to learn or what is it that you can learn. It's very intuitive. And then it's like physically something about him just gets transformed. He's no longer a physical human being. Jahu jalal man toyi, mulkat jan man toyi. There is a story that Rumi has, the story of Moses and the shepherd. Moses is this prophet that is governed by law, governed by regulation, governed by orthodoxy, discipline. The shepherd is free-spirited. Moses is an abed. Abed means he is a man of faith. That's what Moses is, who he is. He's a man of faith. The shepherd is ashiq. He is a person who loves. And these are two very, very, very different animals. Someone who goes to church on Saturday because that's what the faith demands, versus someone who doesn't need it to be Saturday. They go anytime. The shepherd sees God in a human form. Someone who has a long hair, someone who has a long beard, someone who has lice in his hair, someone who needs a massage because once in a while God's back, he walks so much it begins to hurt, his feet needs massaging. And I guess the point I'm trying to make, that all the wonderful, beautiful, positive qualities that you find in human beings, the accidental acts of compassion and forgiveness, even when you go to In-N-Out and you see someone's face and it just looks so symmetrical, the nose, the eyes, the eyebrows, the cheekbones, the lips, the jaw, the chin, and it's like you're standing, in the presence of something majestic, something beautiful. And what is interesting about all these names is that you can find the physical features down here, but if you have read Plato, what these physical features that you experience down here ought to do for you is to guide you, to remind you that this beautiful face that you see lives in space and time, will eventually suffer cracks, wrinkles. They will frown because they're in a bad mood. They will laugh at something profoundly cheap and ridiculous and childish and stupid. And if you're aware of those things, this beauty that you see, this Jamal, is supposed to kind of be a stepping stone for you to reach to something higher, something that's transcendental. And it's such a gift to find a Gurdjieff, to, even when Ouspensky had his own students, to find an Ouspensky, to find a Baisat, to find an Irene Tweedy, even these ridiculous people who go about Jordan Peterson and Eckhart Tolle and Sadhguru. They say some nice things, but what they find is, they find beauty in language, they find beauty in ideas, they find beauty in the physical presence of Bhai Sahib, or Llewellyn Vonley, whomever the ridiculous person on the stage may be. But once you lose access to this beauty, really life becomes barren. All you have is a memory of, I was 20. I ran into this person, ABCD happened. And now I'm just, living my own life. I have a car, I have a house, I have a couple of kids, go to the classroom and I teach, and that's it. Sometimes you listen to these Persian songs. It's someone, they have such great voices sometimes, and you hear them and you listen to the lyric, not so much the lyric, just the way the music is. First it paralyzes your body, you're gonna just slouch. Your senses become completely useless. Then you have a healthy dose of depression and sadness, and then you kind of go inward, and it's dark, and you long for something, and deep down you say, Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim. I want to find something that doesn't lead me astray, doesn't distract me, doesn't deceive me, doesn't create illusions.